Good afternoon, and welcome back, ladies, gents and Pikachus. This is a personal response to a good friend of mine called Sonny. I've known him about between 10 and 15 years, I can't remember, it's not like we're counting. So this is my gay friend. I may have mentioned and not named, but the cat's out the bag. Sonny is my gay friend. So, like I say, I get a lot of criticism as a Christian. Oh, he's a homophobe. You know, I did my funny song about the gay pride thing. Oh, he's a homophobe. My gay friend doesn't seem to think so, so I thought he said something just now on Facebook and I wanted to respond directly. He was commenting on a meme that says, "Forgiveness is a waste of time and stupid and you shouldn't do it because people know exactly what they're doing. So therefore it's bad." And I said, well, it's terrible. It's a funny meme, but it's actually terrible advice. He said, "It most certainly isn't." And I said, "I'll make your video and I'll convince you." Well, I will remind you actually, because you are a forgiving person, Sonny. I've known you long enough to know that. But let's go through the reasons why being forgiving, even though it isn't immediately satisfying, sometimes it's extremely difficult, in the long term it's a good idea, and in general, if everybody was forgiving, life would be a lot better. So we're going to start with, when was the last time you got forgiven, Sonny? Don't admit to me what you did, you don't have to tell me, but think in your head, the last thing you genuinely did wrong that you regret doing, that somebody forgave you for, do you think they're an idiot for forgiving you? Because I would wager, without knowing anything, that you were very happy that they forgave you, and in the long term you both benefited from that. They benefited because they retained your services as a good friend, and you are a good friend, you're a good guy, and you benefited because you were forgiven your thing and it just got forgotten, and you won't do it again. So you improved as a person. They demonstrated that they're a good person, your relationship as friends got better, and the world is now a better place for having you both in it, happier and still being friends. All of that is a result of them forgiving you the stupid thing you did. You see? So straight away there's one good reason why forgiveness is good, because personally it benefits you and you've already benefited from it many times. And you'd be a hypocrite to say, I think it was good that I got forgiven, but nobody else should forgive her, and only me. Only I should get that, and only that one time. Because we know you're going to do things again in future that are going to require forgiveness. We all do. And think about it. My mum and dad, both my sisters, all my friends, the government, you, plenty of people have done things that have pissed me off in the past. But I forgive every single one of them. Because it's a good idea. Point number 2 is, if everybody forgives, even though it's immediately not satisfying, you know, you might think, oh, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve to be forgiven. They know exactly what they're doing. You know, they'll probably re-offend. If you carry that grudge with you, every time you think about them or the thing that they did, everything else in your mind stops. You were thinking about a sunny day. You were thinking about a cool song that you were listening to. You were thinking about what you're going to do next weekend and have fun. All of that stops dead, and your face immediately goes into a horrible frown, and you're thinking, that bastard, I'm never going to forgive them. I'm going to get them back. And all of a sudden, your life is put on the shelf, and their life is now in your head. So they're living rent-free in your head because you decided, rather than forgive them and just forget about it, get on with your life, you decided, my life is no longer important to me. What's important to me right now, in the moment, is I'm never going to forgive that. I'm going to punish them. And you've become vengeful. So, what happens to a person who becomes vengeful? Well, apart from they've completely forgotten about the progression of their own life, they don't care about their life currently, they're walking around in a bad mood thinking, oh, that bastard, I'm going to get them back. They don't deserve forgiveness. I'm going to get them. That's you when you're not forgiving them. You're walking down the street, you know, gritting your teeth, thinking how you're going to punish them. And you walk round a corner, and someone else walks round a corner doing the same thing. And you walk into each other by mistake. Now, if you're a forgiving person, and they're a forgiving person, you'll both go, oh, I'm terribly sorry, I didn't mean to walk into you there. How about that? We're both not even paying attention. And you might well become friends. You certainly not have a bad experience. You'll forgive one another immediately like that. And you'll think, what a great chap that was. Isn't that funny? I met someone cool. And you might even become friends from it. Whereas, if you both walk round that corner thinking, oh, that bastard, I'm never going to forgive him, I'm going to punish him, you're in a mood because you forgot your life, because you're consumed with vengeance, you both walk into each other and you both go, "What are you doing? Look where you're going, you flipping idiot. That was your fault." And the other guy goes, "No, it's your fault. You weren't watching where you're going." And you argue. And neither one of you's willing to forgive the other one because it's their fault and they don't deserve it and forgiveness is not worth the trouble. And you're either going to fight and become enemies, or you're going to say, "Fuck that guy," walk away, and continue being in a bad mood. So point number 2 is, even in the short term, forgiveness is good. Whereas point 1 proves in the long term that forgiveness is good, and you already have it from other people. You've already taken a benefit from it, so you don't have to be miserable. People aren't looking to take you down for a previous grudge, they forgave it. Now you can see in the short term, in future, your behaviour will be better if you're willing to forgive other people, even random people that walk into you. And how that works is because you're not walking around consumed with vengeance. When people inadvertently upset you, which they will, life is long, you will upset other people, whether you mean it or not, that's going to happen. If you're in the mindset of forgiveness, it's done straight away. You just forgive it immediately, you might well become friends, and you toddle off on your merry way and you have a great time in life. So there's 2 good reasons why forgiveness is better than vengeance. Point number 3, I got many of these, I can keep this going all night, but point number 3 is this. Little kids, they learn from experience and from observation. You know, you can tell a kid all day, be forgiving, they won't know how to do it unless they see it. And the reason is, when they see it, their frown disappears and they think, "That's great. That guy's really nice for doing that. You know, he just forgave someone. They didn't deserve it, but he did it anyway." And they feel nice. You get me? Like, they like it. They like seeing that. Little kids love seeing that. And it impresses upon them on a soul level. You really gets them, you know? And they think, "I want to be like that." So when they're walking around a corner and someone walks into them, they will try it. And then they'll like it. And they'll learn to be a nice, forgiving, non-vengeful, non-angry person who is concerned with the progression of their own life rather than stopping the progression of other people's because they deserve revenge. See, so there's 3 good reasons, short-term, mid-term and long-term, why forgiveness is good and why revenge is terrible, bad idea. And as a bonus, I'll give you a 4th reason why forgiveness is a good idea. Look around the world. Look around the world to the big powerful nations with the weapons, with the tanks and the guns and the bombs. Which ones are currently at war? Israel's at war with Arabs. Arabs are at war with Israel. Ukraine's at war with Russia. Russia's at war with Ukraine. Why are they fighting? Is it because something happened now? Or is it because a lot of things happened in the past and there was no forgiveness? So over time, because we are human beings, they pissed each other off a little bit here, a little bit there, and it added up and it added up and it added up. So over time, everybody got really pissed off and there was no forgiveness and they ended up at war killing each other. Whereas if they'd been forgiving the whole time, that rage level never would have built up and there wouldn't be any wars. So point 4 is war is a direct result of not forgiving people. In the long term, forgiveness is going to benefit you because you can focus on the progression of your own life in a happy way. In the mid-term, it makes your reputation better and it makes you feel more loving towards your compatriot human beings, especially children when they see it are going to love you because they'll think this is a great person, I want to be like him, so they won't turn into those warring tribes. And in the short term, you can be focused on your life and not forget what you're doing and drift off into a fantasy of how you're going to get revenge for their XYZ thing. Plus, you won't be a hypocrite by accepting the forgiveness you yourself got in that first example. So there's 4 absolutely terrific reasons, which I'm sure you all agree with because it's common sense, why forgiving people is not only a very good idea, it's actually necessary for a progressive, peaceful, modern society in which lots of different people live together who are completely different and are going to upset each other, and they will continue to do that because that's free will. That's individuality. I like jazz. Some people don't like jazz. If I play loud jazz and people don't like it, they're going to get pissed off with me, but I would hope that they will forgive that, so that when they put their heavy metal on, and I need to shut my windows because I don't particularly like heavy metal anymore, I will also forgive them. And then we both get to have jazz and heavy metal, and neither one of us has to go revenging for it. And that's the conclusion. Now, in the short term, forgiveness works, vengeance does not. In the medium term, plus when you're teaching children through observation and they experience it, their long-term future will be better by seeing you be forgiving. And in the long term, wars will not happen if everybody on Earth is forgiving. Whereas, if nobody ever forgives anyone, over time, everybody will get pissed off with everybody else, and the occurrences of random acts of kindness will be zero, and the entire world will be at war, and we will wipe each other out. That's why forgiveness is worth doing, why I know that you believe in it, and why the reason why that meme came about is short-term anger. Somebody pissed you off, or the person that wrote that meme got pissed off, and they thought, I don't want to forgive them, so I'm going to try and reason why forgiveness is bad for everybody, so that I can say it was good there. But it wasn't. Forgive and forget. Your life depends upon it. So, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that and you learned something, my dear friend Sonny. God bless you all, especially you, Sonny. And I hope I see you soon. And I'll see the rest of you in the next one. Bye now. So there you have it, Sonny, my dear friend. I am right, like it or not. But I hope you will forgive my smugness, because, you know, it's difficult not to be smug when you know that you're so absolutely right. So anyway, that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed that and you learned something. God bless you all. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.